Yes. Okay. So I'll even include this for YouTube if YouTube wants to hear this. So I used to work at Wizards of the Coast on the Magic the Gathering Arena team and on the Magic Online team. And colleague of mine, fellow designer. In fact, he worked for me in R&D and is somebody that we hired into R&D when I was working there, James Rose. So James Rose is a friend and designer buddy of mine. And we were looking at the coin flip mechanics on Magic Online, and we had the debate about what kind of agency to give the player with a coin flip mechanic. Because the point of a coin flip mechanic on a game design, well, I shouldn't say on a game design level, on a game mechanic level, is to give something a 50-50 chance of happening, right? It's just it's a randomization tool to determine a 50-50 outcome. Simple. So there's no need for human interaction to come up with a 50-50 result, right? If you're just trying to figure out what something happens half the time, why do you need to involve the player? Why am I coming to you and saying, player, give me a name A or B, and then we're going to have this result, and then we're going to find out if you were right or not. It's all a big clicky, quote, time waste, all to determine a 50-50 result. You don't need to do any of that at all. You could just, when somebody executes a coin flip situation, tell them whether they won or not, right? And so the benefit of doing it, tell them if they won or not, is that it reduces clicks and meaningless choice, right? Because the idea that it matters whether you pick heads or tails is an illusion. It doesn't matter. The system is not rigged. It is not looking to see what you chose and then changing the outcome. It is simply involving you in determining something 50-50. So, here's a comparison point. They don't ask you to pick heads or tails in going first, right? They just tell you who won. So really, not giving players agency with coin flip cards is about playing to efficiency of clicks and not pretending that there's agency, or don't present players with meaningless decisions, right? I mean, I think it's a reasonable philosophy. If it's a meaningless decision, don't present it to players. So I'm basically making James Rose's argument here, which is to implement it the way we see it here. Don't offer the choice. Don't offer heads or tails. Just tell them what happened. I push back on the other side, though, because, so for me, that's what I want. I want it the way they have it. I do not care about picking heads or tails. I know as a smart, thinking, nuts and bolts, spiky gamer that decision actually has no impact. It's a waste of my time for the system to ask me to make that decision for me. However, we're human beings and we're making games for other human beings, and the goal of the game is to make other human beings have fun, and human beings are weird, especially their brains are weird. So there are a lot of people out there, and maybe maybe I'll poll this to see how people are like on this issue for reviewing. There are people who really want to make that meaningless choice because I pick tails. Tails never fails. How can you give me a coin flip and not let me pick my favorite tails? I love tails. I always pick tails, and this stupid game is giving me a coin flip card and saying choose heads or tails, and then not letting me choose tails, which is what I like to do. I am so mad, you know? This is not me. I'm just saying there are people out there like that who would experience this interface and be, wait, I like picking heads or tails. I'm a tails guy, and you have taken that choice away from me, right? So that's the argument for including it, is that the rules on the card say flip a coin if you win the flip, so it's trying to do a coin flip thing, and there are some people who really enjoy the act of coin flipping. So for Magic Online, it was actually work to remove the coin flip, right? Like it would have been a decision on Magic Online to say, let's change how we're doing it and put in work to remove the coin flip functionality. We decided that it was not worth putting in the effort to reverse that, but And I was always one of just like, just let the people who like coin flips have their pick, you know. But it looks like James and his philosophy of design have won out on Arena here, and they've gone with the, this is fake agency. We're not going to pretend this decision matters. We're just going to tell you who won or not. Anyway, little things in game design where the agency versus the illusion of agency, and how important the illusion of agency is to some players. And you can rationalize taking away something that is just an illusion, but illusions matter to some players. So you are taking something away from some players. Anyway, interesting design decision regarding how to handle coin flip cards in digital Magic. Yeah, Intangible points out that streaming, it could be a reason to streaming is a reason to have the pick because we can all get into it or whatever. But you could also just make the same argument. Streaming is a reason not to have it, so I don't waste time with something that is not game meaningful in terms of decisions. Anyway, since I was going to leave that in for YouTube, I will now say goodbye to YouTube for reals. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube friends. Thanks. Appreciate the bits. Glad you liked the talk.